Salutations, Dufos. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming at you with another special presentation. I am rolling forward, talking to so many wonderful people and getting to know more about them and they getting to know more about me. And with that being said, having said that, I have someone that you have to meet. I first came across this person 14 years ago on YouTube. It's been that long, 14 years. And it's kind of crazy because he was very kind, very open, very warm. I was just a little cover singer at that time, didn't have 4 albums out at that time, but you know, he supported me. And not only did he support me, but we've kept in touch. We've moved from platform to platform, and then he disappeared.
Yeah.
To pursue his life and career and ventures. And so graciously, he has agreed to come out of hiding today. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to EmoreJ. But the thing is, when I knew him, he was Emore'J Couture. So now he can tell us which one it is.
Hey. I got the windy music in my head right now.
How are you?
I am amazing and I am blessed. And it is Emore'J Couture. So
It
yeah,
is. Okay.
you were right. Thank you.
We have something in common. We were talking about it before we started rolling.
Yes, we do. We are both Libras, and not just Libras. We are exact Libras,
Yeah.
September 29th. So you are my birthday twin.
Yeah, I'm your birthday twin. So crazy. Look at us. Just before we get into it, look at us. 14
I know, I'm looking
years,
at me right now.
14 years later, EmoreJ.
Oh my God. And I'm still in my 20s. It's amazing.
Oh God, I'm 17. So hell, I was 3 when I started YouTube covers. Yes, and I will be, no, I'm 39, EmoreJ.
Wow.
Yes.
We don't have the same year though.
Yeah. I'm 39. It's been so long. Life has had so many highlights and so many lowlights, and we're still here.
I remember years ago. This is when you had it was that camera, you had the night light or something that was on in the ball head.
Yes.
And you were just singing and singing and singing and always singing. And look where you are now. I mean, the evolving is beautiful. The transition is beautiful. You know, it's been a ride, but we're still here, as you said.
Yes, yes. And doing amazing things. And this is why I say it, because what you do and what I do impacts people's lives on a daily. They are impacted by what we do. And that is just so amazing. So let's start. I'm ready now.
Okay, good. Let's do this.
So tell us, it's EmoreJ Couture. Start there. What is EmoreJ Couture? I know that it's you and it's the brand, but tell us what EmoreJ Couture is.
What EmoreJ Couture, off the top of my head, EmoreJ Couture is life.
Yes.
You know, I am life. I give life wherever I go. I speak life wherever I go. And this is off the top of my head. It's not even rehearsed. It's just I speak life wherever I go. So it is life. Yeah. You know, I've been EmoreJ Couture since 1999 when my mother decided to change my name. It wasn't always my name. She flipped my name. And because she said I was nothing like my father. So she switched it. And for those who have the intelligence, you know how to switch it. It's up on the screen, you know, switch it, you know. So that's how EmoreJ came about. And the couture part came about once I really got heavily into fashion and fashion production and fashion design and styling and fashion entertainment and all those good things. So EmoreJ and then couture came together. I'm not a part of a house of couture. I don't even know if there is one. And if there is one, I am the father. So,
yes.
But yeah, so EmoreJ Couture. That's it.
You know, I love doing these because I call them interviews, but they're really conversations and we're getting to know about each other. My interview style is different. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to talk. We're going to learn and we're going to love and we're going to continue to support each other.
Yeah, let's have one.
Yes. So tell me, um, young Emore'J, where did he grow up?
Oh my God. Young Emore'J. Well, I grew up in DC, Washington, DC. For those who need to be a bit more specific, whatever, Southeast, straight out the hood, right there with Tokyo Tony, Black China, all those folks. We came from the same melting pot, Anacostia. So that is where I was born. That is where I was raised. That is where I went to school and all of those things. So I am true DC, like the heart of DC.
Wow. While you
Mhm.
were there, did you go to like a performing arts high school?
I never got picked for that kind of stuff. I never got picked for that kind of stuff, which is one of the reasons why I started doing my own thing because I was never picked. Yeah, I was never picked for much. So,
Wait. So you
yeah,
weren't even picked to pursue the arts of fashion and style and all of that stuff. And you just did it on your own. You
no,
said, damn it, I'm gonna do it
no,
myself.
when I tell you I was never picked, like for schools, like there's like Duke Ellington, and
Yeah,
then there's like, for example, even when I went to college, was pursuing college,
yeah,
I applied for FIT, I applied for Parsons, I went to the
yeah.
school tour and everything. None of them accepted me, none of them. And that's fine. I'm thankful.
Emore'J,
Hmm.
you're a famous fashion designer today, baby.
Well, I would say more of a fashion show producer
Even that's
because
even
the
more.
reason why,
That's even higher. That's
let
even
me
higher.
I know. Let me tell you why I got into fashion design, right? And then we can go back to whatever you want to go back
Baby,
to because
we
it's
could
your
go
show.
whatever we going, wherever you going. You
Oh,
driving,
well,
honey. Go ahead.
okay. Well, I'm gonna rock with you and ride with you. So, the reason why I got into fashion design because I wasn't seeing what I wanted to see at fashion shows.
Yeah,
You know, I never saw anybody bring it like how Alexander McQueen brought it.
yeah.
I didn't see how anybody would bring it. I didn't see back then that level of haute couture fashion. I didn't see any of those things. And I wanted to see something different on the runway. So I started just making clothes, and not just clothes, art.
Yeah.
I started making art. I'm really good with my hands. I'm really good at making things. I'm not really into so much of ready to wear. I just love visual art. So I started doing my own shows in DC, and that started around 1999. Ooh. And from 1999, I started producing my own shows in like public libraries. I
Yeah.
started doing them. I remember having rehearsals in church basements just to get my show out there. I would hit up different little hood stores, little urban shops, and ask, "Hey, do you want to have your stuff in my fashion show? I'm producing a fashion show. Have your stuff in my fashion show." And they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll rock with you. We'll rock with you." So they would allow me to take their clothes and put it inside of my fashion show. So it started off in my community, and it also started off in high school. And then from high school, it took off, especially once I graduated. Once I hit college, that's when all of the HBCUs was hitting me about, hey, we want you in our show. Hey, we want you in our show. Do this and do that. Eventually, I was able to get into DC Fashion Week. It was like the biggest event in my life, like Fashion Week, just to have the word Fashion Week attached to my name and all this and that. So I was like, okay, wow. At that time, I was the youngest designer to showcase in DC Fashion Week. I'm not anymore because they're getting younger and younger these days. But once I got into DC Fashion Week, it took off. Like I wanted to do so much. I wanted to now produce. I wanted to see my own stuff. I wanted to see my own show. I wanted to be in control of the lights, of the environment, like of everything. I wanted to create my own world. And that's what Emore'J Couture shows became. It was a different world. It was a different experience. So that's where it started.
Let me tell you something. Child, we're gonna have to meet in real life
I
because
know. Why haven't we? Where are you?
COVID.
And
I'm in Philadelphia, honey. COVID put a damper
why
on.
did I think you lived in Paris?
Well, get this. I modeled in Paris for 6 months, 17 years ago. But you're right, Emore'J. I'm planning to go back. My
You from
empire is built.
Philly. You
Yeah,
don't
I'm
Philly?
in Philly. I'm in Philly, but not for long. not for
Well,
long. No,
Philly. Oh, I love King of Prussia. Yeah.
yes, King of Prussia. I
Place
even
over
worked in
there.
King of Prussia. Yes, I did. When I wasn't a full-time entertainer, I worked in the King of Prussia Mall. I did. I dressed a lot of our Eagles players. I met a lot of, yeah, I met a lot of,
Listen, retail was my life at one
yeah.
point, so I know all about it. Trust me.
EmoreJ.
Yeah. What, girl?
It's not just me. You also don't like people owning you,
Mm,
don't like people controlling you,
wow.
and have the point and the mindset that I will do it myself.
That's right. That's right. So accurate. What, you a prophet?
Baby, I'm a shaman, oracle, prophet, and seer and healer. So I got a lot of stuff going on over here, a
Yeah.
lot of ancestral spirit. But what I love is that you're just as independent as I am
Yeah.
and doing well, doing well. Tell everybody where you're hailing us from right now, because you are not in DC.
No, I'm not in DC anymore. I left DC 9 years ago. So I've been thriving in the Los Angeles area. Yeah. So I'm in LA. Again, it's been 9 years. Ask me how I feel about it now. That's another question. But I have been living and thriving in Los Angeles for 9 amazing, challenging years. And the challenges have been amazing. I tell people all the time, I don't have bad days. I haven't had a bad day since probably 96. I don't have bad days. I have challenges. And with every challenge that comes along throughout my day and throughout my experience is coming to shape my character. So I don't even speak that I have bad days because I don't. I don't even know what a bad day is. I have
Yes,
challenges.
yes. Oh my God. So I remember watching the highlights of your shows back in '08. That's
Yeah,
what was on YouTube. And I remember it's first of all, your style, your personal style always struck me. You wore beautiful things, things that were reminiscent of cultures that were not even in America.
absolutely. There's some behind me.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'm so inspired by you. You hit the button, and we're gonna continue to move on so we can learn more about this. So you turn around and you become a staple in your community in DC. And it's like, okay, everybody knows you now. People know what you offer, what you bring, and then you decide to make the move to LA.
yeah.
But what caused you to make that move?
Well, it's funny because my last fashion show in DC, I had a photographer come to me, and I wish I knew his name. I really wish I knew his name, and I'm sorry, sorry to that man that I don't know his name. I'm a mess. I don't know his name right now. But he came to me. He said that you need to move. And this is
Mhm.
the young Emore'J. I'm like, what? What you talking about? But I need to move. What? What are you talking about? And he said, you're too big for this area. You are a huge fish in a little pond. You need to move. And once he put that seed in my head, I knew that it was time for me to blossom. I realized that I did hit a wall or a plateau in DC. I knew everybody who was at my show. Whenever I would go to different shows, I knew everyone in the room. I knew everyone there. I knew the photographers there. Like, hey, what's up? You ready for that one again? Come on, let's do it. Weren't you at the other event last night? Yeah, that was me. Come on, let's do another photo op, whatever. So once you begin to like know everybody and everything, I wanted a challenge. I love challenges. So with that, I decided to put all of my resources together and do like internships back and forth from Los Angeles to LA. I purposely and strategically, us Libras, we always calculate, we always trying to be 3 steps ahead, baby, and we usually are.
Yep.
And what I did was I made sure I landed a retail job that could transfer me from DC to LA comfortably. I'm all about building my foundation. I don't want to be anywhere struggling.
Right,
Not me. It won't be me. It
right.
wasn't me. It's not me. So I made sure that I got the job that was going to transition me out there. I already knew where I wanted to live because I had a previous friend at the time that already lived in an area that had cheap rent. Okay, just let's keep it real.
Yeah.
That had cheap rent, but great space, great location. I was able to drive from the valley down to the city and work. So I just got all that stuff together, and I saved up my money, saved up that income tax money. It wasn't immediately when I moved, but because I'm a big planner, I have to have things in order before I moved.
Yeah.
So I simply just packed up everything, put it in the car, shipped a few things off to my friend's address, and it was boom. I moved to LA, and here I am in the world of retail. Good Lord, we got to change this up because this is not what I came out here for.
Right. I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. Explain that. In the world of retail, we need to shake things up. Explain that for a second.
Okay, so it was like when I told this other guy the other day in Vegas. I was just in Vegas for New Year's.
Yes.
Um, we were talking about retail jobs, and we were talking about retail jobs and retail bonds. A lot of the people who you work with in retail become like some of your closest, best of friends, if not your best friend. And I can attest to that. Like one of my close, good brothers is from DC, and we was working in retail for years. But what happened was when I moved to Los Angeles and I was doing retail, opening the store, closing the store, I went from like 6 stores, not because I was fired from all of them, but because they were closing down. You know, the world of retail has changed so much. It's so unstable to me personally. It's very unstable. You don't know if your store is going to be here today, gone tomorrow, especially in 2022.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with that, I just began to observe my life. And it was all right the first few years, year or two, or was it a year and a half? But then something hit me, and I'll tell you all about it. I broke down at my job. And I actually did a video about this ages ago, probably like 10 years ago on YouTube. It's called Breakdown to Breakthrough.
Yeah.
And what happened was I was at my job. This is when I was working out in Glendale. I was now with Superdry. I don't want to promote them, but I was at another retail store, and I remember my staff and stuff clocking in, and they were like young people and things, you know, probably like when I say young people, I would say like 24-ish and this and that. And me and a coworker went for a break at the day bar across from the mall. And she was telling me about all the good things that were happening to her boyfriend, about how he came to LA to pursue his dreams and they were happening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And as she was telling me her story, I started crying.
Mm.
And not just, you know, the sweet tears of a video. I'm talking about Tyler Perry stage play ugly crying.
Yeah.
I'm talking about tears in my eyes breaking down, me sobbing like an old tired hoe. I'm broken down at the bar, like literally in front of the associate. And I broke down because I realized that this is not the life I signed up for coming out here. This is not what I wanted. I wanted more.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to become more. I wanted to be more. This ain't it. I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the transition. I am. But now it's time to get more. And from that point, everything in my mind started clicking about getting out of here. And this is the funny thing about the Most High, right?
Yes.
When you take too long, or when you don't do it at all, especially when you know your assignment,
Yeah.
there's no way that you can escape it.
Nope.
He'll push you towards it.
Yep.
If you don't do it, the universe will push you
Yep.
right there. And it happened. I was fired from my job on my off day, on my vacation. I was in DC and I was told over the phone. And I was like, what is going on? That's a whole nother story. We don't even have to get into that one.
Right.
But they let me go. But again, I was grateful for it. I
Mm-hmm.
was so grateful for it because that was the push that I needed. I
Yeah.
kept going, calculating back and forth my strategy, how I was going to do this, how I was going to do that. Just do it. And then trust me, you'll swim. You
Yeah.
will swim.
Yeah.
We're always afraid of that jump, but you will swim.
Yeah.
Just jump.
After making that, coming to that realization and your soul saying, okay, that conversation that we have with ourselves, after you had that conversation with yourself and you realized, okay, this job is done, what was your next move? what was the move? And I want to know, what was your next move? But what I mean is not what did you do after you were fired? I mean, when did you get that first break, that first release, that first slack in the rope that allowed you to be able to say, okay, I can do what I want to do. It's coming to me. I have it. Well, do you remember what the first job was?
Well, first and foremost, it's about the acceptance.
Yeah.
I accepted that I was fired, and I accepted that this is now my assignment for me to now figure it out
Yeah.
independently on my own.
Yeah.
Acceptance. So from then and there, I decided, this is when Uber and Lyft was like popping at the time. And again, it's like you left all of this in DC. Everybody knew your name. Everybody knew this about you and that about you. And you had this huge audience, this huge big crowd. And I could go anywhere in DC and be recognized, especially from fashion and then also via through YouTube. So I could easily be recognized anywhere. And I left all that behind and I pressed the reset button. So here I am doing Uber and Lyft proudly with no problem.
Right.
Again, these are the challenges.
Yeah.
I'm doing it now.
Right. And you know what I
But
love? Go ahead, go ahead. But I was going to ask if
so
there was more. Go ahead.
from that Lyft and Uber, I started doing promotional gigs and promo gigs, and you might have done some also. Promo gigs consist of like modeling for different campaigns or promoting different products.
Yep.
Sometimes you can be stationed at different stores, like
Yep.
a Sam's Club, a Costco, a Target, an event,
Yep.
whatever. And then from there, you know, you're on set and you're just promoting these products. So I did a lot of promo modeling gigs and promo gigs to pretty much just keep it in. And I was able to create my own things on the side and still work promo gigs. So now I had more time to myself. I
Yes.
had more time to focus on my business.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like I said, you saw it. I interviewed Diane Pernay, fashion icon, especially in Paris.
Yeah,
And
from Paris.
yeah, she actually said to me, she said, the price of freedom is very high. You almost can't afford it.
Say that one more time. I want to hear that again.
Yeah. The price of freedom is very high. You almost can't afford it.
Yeah.
And I say that here because what was happening, physical stuff, but what really needed to happen and what I hear that happened is you made a mental decision. That thing, you know how they say, you know, you can change your life like that, but it starts with a decision. And what I'm hearing is you made that decision. And what they don't understand about Libras is we're very balanced, but very magical. When we make a decision,
My life is magic. My
right,
life is magic. It really is.
right. So fast forward to that, from that time, and you did what you had to do. You stayed. You
That's
didn't
right.
leave. You stayed. That now the question, what was the day, the event that caused you to realize I can express myself and get paid for it because it deserves to be paid for? That it took the place of all of the other things that you were doing and became your passion and your full-time career. What was that day?
That was the day I created Utopia, because a small child can never dream too big. It was a nonprofit that I came up with.
Mhm.
And what I did was, at this point, I just wanted to do something. I wanted to create something. I wanted to tell my story, and not through retail and not through promo gigs. So what I did was I researched on my computer about like different nonprofits that I could offer my fashion design program to. And I came across Create Now. I went into the Create Now office. I interviewed with them. I showed them who I was, and I told them about my ideas and what I wanted to do and what I wanted to bring to the Los Angeles area, especially with fashion and also community combined. And with that, they accepted it. They loved the idea. So we started off in North Hollywood, which is in the Valley. And in North Hollywood, I cannot remember the name of the shelter. I really can't, because it's no longer there.
Yeah.
But it was a North Hollywood shelter that had youth there. And I was able to bring my program to that shelter. And what I did was I pulled different fashion stylists and fashion bloggers and curators, I brought them into my program to assist with the youth, to be more hands-off. I swear, this fashion community, we need more realism, honey. So
Yeah.
I brought them all in, and they were able to work with their own child and to build a garment with that young person. And we're not talking about like scribbling and writing on t-shirts. No, darling. We're talking about creating gowns and creating looks and giving you the look.
Yes.
Like, we were talking about some high fashion at the shelter. Yes, we was. And those young people have never experienced that before. That was their outlet. That was their escape. I was able to sit with their families. I was able to go into the shelter in their small rooms. The room was about the size of a New York bathroom. It
Yeah.
just was the bed, and that was it. So to be able to bring this program to these youth, a community that doesn't have a home, that are children abandoned off of the street that are here, we were able to present that program and present it successfully with a fashion show. At the end of it, it was amazing. And that right there let me know that this is what I came for, you know?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm grateful for that. Ever since then, we've been hitting different schools and orphanages and shelters. So presently this year, 2022, I will be stationed out of Hillside in Pasadena, California, and we have a fashion program that's going to be starting there. It starts January the 18th, but whatever Omarion decides to do is what we going to decide to do, because at this point,
Called it a
I don't know.
Marion, like
He's
everybody.
been dancing
It's
up and down the
Omicron.
daggone United States and in the universe for the past few months now. My Christmas wasn't even the Christmas I thought it would be because of Omarion.
It's
Hello?
Omicron. Y'all killing
Baby.
Omarion.
He's been dancing up and down the
It's
street.
Omicron, and everybody, y'all wrong.
Okay.
Y'all wrong.
Yeah, so we over it. We over it
Yeah.
at this point. I don't
Yeah.
know. So it's allegedly it's January the 18th where
Yeah.
we will be creating and working out of Hillside. So if there's any fashion stylists in LA, producers, or even models that want to be involved or receive information, or investors,
Yeah.
you know, we love those investors, because I
Yeah.
know this is a serious channel, honey. Bring
Yes.
that money in.
No, you know what? Oh, see, I'm taking my time with you. I hope you don't mind, because I am so touched, moved, and inspired by your journey. Like, I remember, like, and that's the thing, you know this, you had a very vibrant, very, very successful YouTube channel. And
I was a mess.
but the thing,
A
but
good one.
it was a good one. And everyone was supporting you, everyone was uplifting you, and then you
Yeah.
disappeared.
I took some, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I took some chances with, no, I took some risks. I took some chances. I took a lot with YouTube when I first started, because no one was doing what I did at that present time. And when I say no one, we're talking about giving you the honest, raw truth. I don't know if you remember, but I used to I was the first one who went to fashion shows in the hood.
Yeah.
And let people know what I felt and how I felt.
Woo.
And it was, whoa, if I said some words, when I look back at it sometimes and I was like, ooh, Jesus, EmoreJ, calm down, ho, you doing too much. But it was what was needed back then. Would I do it differently now? Absolutely. Because of a lot of things that I said, but it garnered so much attention, and it garnered so many people then wanting me to come out and, can you review my show? Can you review my show? You know, it's crazy. It really is crazy. But
You
would
know,
I do that now? I don't know if I'm that bold. And times are so different now. People's mental is so different now. People's capacity to take certain information, realism, and just talk, it's a different environment now. I don't know if I would be able to do it just like that.
but you know what's so crazy? I hear that it's a different environment, but I'm sitting here looking at a different Emore'J.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't
Really? How
be,
different? Tell me.
yeah, like it wouldn't be something, it wouldn't be caustic, Emore'J, because what I hear from you now is I'm teaching young people art through fashion, which means it's more so in a coachable way and not a critic way, if you understand what I'm
Right,
saying.
right.
So you'd be able to do it if you went to the shows and said, okay, sweetheart, you used this color, you overused it. The shoes didn't have to match that. You could have went a different color. You could have color blocked. You could have, like, you see what I'm saying?
Not
It
back then. Back then
becomes,
it was, You silly girl, have you lost your sick mind? You're wearing this. Oh God, we have to get this girl together. You look
But
pathetic.
but also, Emore'J, that was what was needed at the time.
At the
At the
time.
time. Someone said to me yesterday when I sent out all, because I do all these blasts about these interviews, and they said to me, congratulations on reinventing yourself. And I
Mhm.
said, thank you, because, for 5, 6 years, I gave social media 22,000 60-second inspiration, motivation, kick in the ass videos. Didn't make a dime. So everything that you see, I had to buy myself as a full-time artist with only 1, 2, 3, 4 backers. So it was very difficult. But I still, even to this day, I am not jaded. And what I love about you is that you're not jaded. You're telling me your story, you're sharing the ups and downs. But what I hear is your possibilities are still there. Your dreams are still there. Your aspirations, your goals, though you're hitting them. There's still more to be had.
Mhm.
So you still have the nonprofit.
Mhm.
When I wrote you the other day to ask you, because I'm very impromptu, I slide into people's DMs and I'm like, please interview with me, please. And they say, of course, yes. Some have said no, but that's okay. Shame on them, because when I'm this, and whatever they're gonna do, I pray that it lasts, but I'm this. And I'm in this for a long, 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 long time. And my attitude and idea is, baby, everything that you're watching in retrospect, even after I created it. Even as I'm creating it, you saw this in retrospect, which means it's going to be retroactive. Every single person I talk to, every single person I showcase, they're going to get opportunities based on the fact that I continue to get opportunities and build larger platforms. So with that being said, they were like, you reinvented yourself. And I'm like, you have to. And that's what I'm hearing from you. You have to be, one of my uncles, he always said this to me before I even went to college and had to be medically withdrawn. He said, be flexible. And
Mhm.
what I hear is your flexibility, because some people, when they want to do something so much, and it
Yeah.
is what they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it. And Libras, us, we can get caught up in black and white thinking, my therapist calls it. And what I have to remind myself of is that black and white thinking, it has its place, especially in business,
Right.
but even in that, the world is gray. The world is
Right.
gray. It's not
Right.
black and white. It's gray. And you've got to, like you said, opportunity, you got to get in where you fit in. So I brought that up because the reason I said that was when I asked you to interview, you were in Vegas, but you were traveling for concerts and different things. You had so much going on. And I
Yeah. Vegas.
realized, go ahead, Vegas. Go ahead, say
Mhm.
what you get ready to say. I thought you were ready to say something.
Oh no, no, it's Vegas. It's always something going on. It's crazy.
Exactly. But what I was under the impression, and I got the impression, is that you're moving in a production type manner for these
Mhm.
concerts, for these shows, for what's going on. That's what I got from, okay, I don't want, listen, you may not be able to talk about it, but I'm just saying what I got was that your gifts and your talents are being called upon for larger venues, for larger situations, for larger opportunities. And when you said that, I was just like, like it's an amazing thing. And what I'm saying and why I'm saying that is because you ain't like everybody else.
Jesus, is that you? How you knowing all this? Huh? Like, let me.
Shaman! I'm a shaman and I pay attention. I had to tell one of my mentees the other day, she's like, how do you know that? I said, sweetie, 2 plus 2 is 4.
Mm,
Don't come at me with that. I don't have to magically know. 2 plus 2 is 4. But
the intuitiveness, the
yes,
intu, absolutely. And you're absolutely right. I don't know. I don't want to speak too
to
fast
speak
on
to,
it,
right?
but You're absolutely right. This is the season, and I've had, and I have been going to a lot of places and evaluating how they're doing production, how they're putting things together, what kind of crowd they're bringing out, their marketing tactics. I'm like observing everything. Again, everything is about, to me, strategy,
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah.
So I pay attention and I observe everything around me, and from there I shoot my shot.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that you did say that, because that is something that I'm now furthering. It's a new pursuit for me in
Hmm.
2022, and I'm going after it.
Hmm.
Um, I've just been exposed to a lot of new things,
Hmm.
and I'm excited to take these new projects off the ground. And they're going to be totally far left for me, but it's going to also be right up my alley. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to bring this to the world.
Yeah. You know what? It's so, what people do not understand about this industry is that so many of us, we come into this industry at different points, but there are so many things to be done. Like there are so many things to be done. Um, People don't even understand that. Yeah, when a designer puts on a fashion show, he hires a fashion show producer. They don't know that.
That's
And
right.
that it's the job of the fashion show design producer to bring the vision of the designers to life. That's a very
That's right.
important job. That's a very important job. Very important job. And even when I started my career, I started as a model. And now I'm wearing several hats, but one of the hats that I'm wearing is being this guru, this shaman, this wealth of information. But also I am I'm critiquing and mentoring young talent coming up. I do that a lot. I do that more. That's where a lot of my money comes from, is because they don't have people like you or I that have, and this is the thing, if we were handed success immediately, we wouldn't know all the lessons that we knew. We wouldn't know all the information that we do. I learned a lot being told no. I learned a lot being told you got to take the side door. You can't walk in this door. So like you said, it forced me to assess every single thing going on with the industry. And I love fashion. That's what I will be returning to do in Paris, but not as a model. But I love that, you know, I had the Essence magazine. Her fashion editor once told me, her name is Ionia Dunley. She's not the fashion editor anymore, but I met her in Paris, and she said to me, you've got to use every gift and every skill that you have to arise a successful opinion in this business. And what I'm seeing and what I'm saying to you is that I see a man willing to be flexible. I see a man willing to expand his horizons. You have some people that are like, oh no, I just design and that's it. You're like, no, I can't just design. I need to see how this is done. I need to put this together. I want the lights. I want the this. I want the runway. I want that. Like, I want all of that under my control. And that is, first of all, it's going to make you very highly sought
Mhm.
after, because it's just like, again, here's a person that can do it. Excuse me. Here's a person that can do it all. Here's a person that is not afraid of the hard work. And I
Mhm.
must also add that not being afraid of the hard work is going to make you very wealthy, very extremely, because it is, I don't want to say self-sufficient, but you're self-sustainable.
Mm.
You see, you're self-sustainable. People don't understand that when you outsource things, you start losing money. Now, you can't do everything.
That's right.
You should outsource certain things, but the majority, the big bulk of things, you better be able to do. Because if you don't, you're paying all this money, and for what?
That's right.
An evening, a show that lasts 15 minutes, and that's pushing it. Some are 10 minutes. And
Right.
I was saying that to myself last night, because I was, this is a new YouTube channel for me and I'm doing new things, but I'm talking to a lot of fashion people, and I'm watching the shows, and and I said this to myself last night. I'm like, I'm watching these shows on YouTube, and I'm just like, all the preparation, all the models being casted, all the outfits being made, all of the things, the runway, the lights, the music, all of these things that had to happen for us to get a 10-minute show.
Right. It's the biggest rush of your life. It's like a drug.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's stressful, it's chaotic, it's madness.
Mhm.
And then once it's over, you want to do it again. You're like,
Yep.
oh my, I want to do it again. When is the next show? Let's start working on the next one. That's how it was for me in DC. That's how I was able to do so many shows. Back every season, I think every year I would have maybe 2 shows.
Yeah.
And it was just a rush.
Yeah.
I got I was able to tell my story through each one of my fashion shows. For those who attended my shows religiously,
Yeah.
they saw that every show was a story that I told. And honestly, my last show, Neslyric Signet, I feel like, in my personal opinion,
Yeah.
it predicted almost the future. My last collection,
Yeah.
everybody had on mask. Every being had on mask. And it's amazing where we are now.
Yep.
You know, we're now wearing masks.
Mhm.
I did so much with, I loved the fact, this is me talking about myself, child. I love it. But I love the fact that I was able to take spirituality
Mhm.
and fashion and mix it in. But it takes a keen eye to see that.
Yep.
Um, and I'm so happy I'm mentioning her and that I have a platform to be able to say her name. But Sharon Nixon,
Yeah.
Baltimore Fashion Week. I remember she attended my fashion show. Hi, Miss Sharon. And the very next day after attending my fashion show, she called me and she was crying, in tears, crying. And I mean, it was a cry, and she was like, it was breathtaking. It was unearthing. And it was an experience that she's never experienced before. But it was the emotions that she felt.
Yeah.
It was everything. The fashion, I think it was the attention to detail. She was at awe.
Yeah.
And I'm forever grateful for that conversation. I'm forever grateful for that phone call and many of those phone calls that happened after my fashion show, which led to the man telling me that you need to get out of here. You need to leave.
Yeah.
There's something bigger waiting for you. I'm so excited and I'm so happy that I get to go to places like Vegas and see the production of Cirque du Soleil. Do people not think I'm not taking these things in? That
Yeah.
I'm not pulling from all of these sources to be able to now come together and produce my own? There is a gap and there is an area of opportunity in Los Angeles and other cities that I am ready to shake, rock, rattle, and roll, baby.
Yeah.
I'm ready to bring something awesome and dynamic
Yeah.
to the nightlife. This is going to be amazing. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know how I was going to start. And through fear alone, I also was going to stop myself because I was thinking maybe this is a bit too big for me. It's different.
Mm.
But then I spoke into existence all the things that I want, and I spoke out of existence all the things that were holding me. And I decided that, you know what? I'm going to go after what I want. And you want to know what's also funny is that you came to me with this interview. You didn't purposely come to me. I spoke that into existence. I might not have spoken your name to the universe exactly, but the universe knew what I needed in my journey in order to get something to be skyrocket off. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I give thanks to the Most High right now and again for being able to have me on a platform like this so that I can watch this back and see myself and understand the assignment.
Yes. Yes, Emore'J. Yes.
It may have taken me 8.5, 9 years to fully decide what I wanted to do. But the thing is, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And let's be very clear. The 9 years that I have in Los Angeles have been amazing to me.
Yeah.
Now, for those that was able to find me once I sort of left YouTube and eventually social media,
Yeah.
they know what's up. I have lived and am living an experience.
Yeah. I have a question for
And
you.
I like it. Yeah.
I have a question for you. Now, see, this is the thing. You're not a stylist, you're a designer. So most designers would have headed to New York.
Yeah,
But I get the feeling that you didn't head to New York because
no,
because most designers head to New York. If you understand what I just said.
yeah,
Not following the crowd, being the norm. You're like, no, I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna go shake it up over here. Everybody goes to New York. Everybody that wants to be in
mhm,
fashion goes to New York. I'm not going to New York. I'm going to California. And that is the thing.
purposely.
Yes, how do I say that? How does the working community, as far as cinema and the actresses and actors, how do they receive you?
Well, I deal with a diverse clientele of people, not just models, or I'm sorry, well, no, I'm not. Not just models
Mm-hmm.
and not just actors.
Mm-hmm.
I deal with other producers.
Mm-hmm.
I deal with other creators,
Mm-hmm.
more so artists. Um, I deal more so with, I'm trying to think of the people with the titles that are not as big as people think, oh, actors or producers, because there's those people who also build those other people too. So I deal with different makeup artists.
Yeah.
I deal with a lot of different people that put one big vision together, and they receive me very well. They love my passionate, I'm not passionate. I'm so hood, God. But
Oh,
they
you
love my passion. They love my drive. Um, they love the things that I'm doing, and they love the ideas that I'm bringing to the table. So I am received well.
yeah. Have you see, and that's the thing, it's been 9 years. I don't want you to name drop, but some people say, well, if you can design an outfit for such and such, it'll put you on the map. If you can design an outfit for this person, it can put you on the map. Do you do those things? Do you design for people, or is that something that you said, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to stay over here in my lane?
Styling to me is sort of more so exclusive
Hmm.
because I don't even stylist. I don't consider myself a stylist. I just consider
No.
myself dressing my good friends. But the big thing for me, things that I say, I don't say that, oh, I want to dress this person, even though I do want to dress Cardi B, but I feel like she's doing just fine without me. Trust me, she's doing mighty fine. And I'm loving what her stylist is giving her. Amazing. I would do it just like that. Amazing. But what I always think about is if I could produce a show, who I want there.
Yeah.
And as controversial as he is a genius. I want Kanye there in my show.
I love
I
Kanye.
want to be able to produce and work with Kanye. I feel like me and him have been on the same frequency since I was doing shows back in 2010 in DC when he came out with his Runaway video. Remember when he did the Runaway, it's like a 35-minute video, and he
Yes.
went through all those visuals?
Yes.
That took my life to another level
Yes. With
because that
the
is
lovely Salida
exactly
Ebanks, the lovely Salida Ebanks played that beautiful
that
bird.
bird outfit. She was
Yes.
giving it.
Yes.
That is what I want to bring to the table and more. You know what I'm saying? Like what Kanye is doing when visuals, he has it. He knows how to take art and spirituality and make you feel something.
Yep.
He's an air sign, us air signs. We just take people through.
I love that man. I
We
just,
we push things forward.
yeah,
We push ideas forward.
yeah,
And I love that. I love that. So I love what that Gemini brother is doing. It's amazing. And I know that if me and him were to ever cross paths, and will cross paths,
yeah,
that what we will discuss and what we will come up with will be utterly unearthly.
yeah. You know, I said I wasn't going to do it. I see a great awakening in your life about to happen. I see people around you who may not necessarily have gotten you before, they're about to get you. And when I
They're
say that,
watching.
and I mean
They're
like,
watching.
no, but I mean they're about to understand you. And I don't mean as a trend or a fad. They're about to get you.
Mhm.
And this is going to do a lot for you in every area of your life. What you want to do, where you want to go, what you want to be, all of that. I see a lot of people are going to understand for the first time. And it's going to be a little jarring because we make our art, but to fully be understood, is something that really rarely happens, but you're about to be understood within your community. You don't have to go anywhere else. You don't have to go to New York. You don't have to go to Prague. You don't have to go to Napsal. You don't have to go to Paris. You're going to get it right there. And I love it. I'm reminded of The Alchemist, you know, the book. I read the book, The Alchemist, and he traveled all over the world and he had amazing experiences. But what he realized, and at the end of the book, was that all of the wealth and all of the jewels and the diamonds were buried in his own backyard. And this is the yard that you have chosen to live in. And this yard is about to reap a harvest for you that is just, you didn't plan. You didn't
Thank you.
plan, you didn't like it's going to knock you off your feet. And good, and rightly so, you know, and rightly so it should, because you are a very hard worker. You're a very hard worker. You've always been. Since I saw you 14 years ago, you were working before then. You're a very hard worker. And, you know, sometimes being hard workers, I'm gonna just say what I hear, sometimes being hard workers, people want to take credit for your work and not give you the shine that you deserve. I just want to say that because that's what I hear from spirit. But I want you to understand that these people are going to be asked to recreate or to move forward with the agendas that they quote unquote have stolen from you. But what they're going to understand is that they can't move forward because they're not the source. You are.
That's right.
So I just want to leave that with you. Is
You
that
want to know you want to know something? I'm not going to go too far into detail because I'm not, but I will.
okay?
In 2019, in 2019, I can relate to what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
And by that, I produced some fashion shows in 2019, which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for to be able to work on set, but I also experienced people not wanting to mention my name
Mm-hmm.
or not wanting to give me the credit. And not saying because I was unprofessional or any of those things. It was because it was so good
Mm-hmm.
that they wanted all the credit for it. And the
Mm-hmm.
thing about it, like you said, that's also fine. Did I get upset? Did I go off? Did I confront them and get mad?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. I didn't do any of those things because I know that I am the creator. I
Mm-hmm.
created those things
Mm-hmm.
and I'll continue to create again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also going to leave that door open so the next time you do want to create, that price is going to go up because last year's price is not this year's price.
Hey, you better say that again.
So,
Yeah. No,
yeah,
for real, say that again. I'm like, no, for real.
last year's price is not this year's price. No matter what industry you're in, that applies.
Yeah. So, family life. Is your family very supportive of what you're doing?
My family, I have no family in LA.
Right.
All of my family is back on the East Coast. Majority is DC. Um, yeah, majority is DC, DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but in regards to support, my mother was at the front door collecting money at my shows back in DC. My sister was a host at one time, Lord bless her. But you know, that wasn't their thing, but they did it for me, you know. So I thank them for all of the support. The most support that they can do now, since we're so far apart, is especially with my mother, is send me prayers. I know that it's been my mother's prayers that has shielded me and kept me from so many daggers.
Yeah.
And not just daggers, but a mountain of things that could have hit me and broke me, but it was through my mother's prayers that I've always been kept. I feel like she just prays 24 hours. Is there anything else that you do today but pray? But I know that she's always praying, praying and working, praying and working. That's all she does is pray and work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, you
Yeah.
know, but I know it's through those things that I am kept. And not only kept, I am thriving. And I only thrive, and there's nothing that I don't want that I cannot have.
Yeah.
And I mean that.
Yeah. 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 One of the things I walked into in 2022 was the fact that I could have whatever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can. Why? Because I worked for it.
That's right.
And so did you. Earned it. And I don't mean earned it with man. I mean earned it with the divine. You put in the work.
I'm grateful for the knowing that I now have.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at the and it's funny because this interview is just making me think of who I was and who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay because it's called evolving and growth. We don't all have to start off one way and finish one way.
Right.
It's called life. You change.
Yeah.
You know, we evolve. Mental evolving is amazing.
Yeah.
Because there's a sense of knowing.
Yep.
you know, that the old EmoreJ just didn't have. As much passion was there, as much fire, because I got that fire sign in my chart too,
Yeah.
but as much fire that's in there, it didn't have a knowing. And without me not having a knowing back then, I just didn't know certain things. I didn't know how to say certain things. I didn't know. But now with having this knowing, I'm a bit more, not a bit more, but I'm empathetic.
Yeah.
I'm also more supportive. I'm supportive of people who probably don't even won't even support me, but that's fine. That's okay because I'm still going to get my things, and I do. So there is a knowing that I now have.
You know what?
Mhm.
I feel like, see, there's two types of Libras. There's the mature Libra and there's the immature Libra.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter what age they are. What matters is the experiences that they have. And I can look at you and tell you've had quite
a
a lot,
lot.
yeah, a lot of experiences, which is the reason for this fully formed man that I'm looking at right now, you know? And listen, that town you're in is a tough town. I want nothing from that town. I want
Mm.
nothing. I'm not coming there. I'm not using what I've made as leverage. Nothing. I'm taking me and my good old incorporation papers and my business papers, and I'm hitting it. And
And that is why I'm strategically working on some things now because I won't be here too long.
ah,
Yeah, so I'm excited to be getting up out of here because LA is different. It's so different from when I was coming back in the day, like around the ages of 2012, 2010. It's so different from around 2010.
yeah,
Or 2012, I can't remember. Well, 2012 is when I moved out here. But I was coming before also. So
yeah,
it's so different.
hmm,
The people are so different. A lot of people have migrated. A lot of people have left. The quality of artists is so different now.
yeah,
You know, but it's a recycle process.
hmm,
You know, all things that were new have become old. Old things have become new. Just it's a cycle.
yeah,
And I don't want to be a part of the next cycle here because I now have a vision of something else now. And I
yeah,
have a taste for something else. And I'm okay with that.
hmm,
You know, success is your opinion about it.
yep,
Success is what you make it. You know, I feel like the old Emore'J, what old Emore'J wanted was so much fame. I wanted fame before success.
hmm,
You're young, that's what they all want.
yeah,
You know, I wanted the fame, I wanted to be seen, I wanted all of this and that, but where I am now with the knowing that I have now, I am perfectly okay
yeah,
with not being on anybody's monitor, but have the knowing and the success
yeah,
that I know I'm getting to it. And
yes,
not just getting to it, I got to it. Like,
yes.
I don't know if you know about me, but I know about me. And I love my journey. I can't wait to where I go next. Look,
Exactly. But that's the point. Exactly. Because, I don't find enough people enjoying the journey. Now, mind you,
right? Come
even
on, say it again, because I want to jump in on this. Say it again.
I don't find enough people enjoying the journey.
Because they just don't know.
Yeah.
That's where that conversation came from the other day when I was in Vegas. I was at the Balenciaga store.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna put too much of his business out there because that's already specific. But
Yes.
I was talking to a young man about working in retail, and I know people that have been in retail for so long and that want to do something different. But it's just
Yeah.
that fear that keeps you in a place and in a position where you don't want to be.
Yeah.
But they don't see that if they just jump,
Yeah.
you'll fly, you will swim, you will do whatever you need to do to be able to have that thing come into fruition. It will come.
Yeah.
I took that chance in 2012 when I left DC. I left that title behind. I left that popularity behind. I
Yeah.
left so much of those followers. I just left everything and I just jumped. The
Yeah.
same way how I did with YouTube to a lot of my followers, I can't even remember the level of followers I had on YouTube. It was a lot. It was good. Um, but then I just abruptly just left.
Yeah.
And I do that a lot. And I'm realizing that I have to do things a little different sometimes, because sometimes I don't have to tell you nothing. I'm just leaving.
Right. Right.
But I want to do, and I am doing things a bit more appropriately and differently now. Rather than just up and leaving something, I'll give you the opportunity to come with me this way. At
Yes.
the end of the day, it's still a business.
Yep.
These people were still supportive of your business, so you just dropped off money.
Yeah.
So, and not just to make people just money, but it is what it is.
It is.
YouTube is so different these days. I sit back and I watch people on YouTube. Shout out to Lovely T. I'm always watching Lovely T stuff. I'm a tea sipper. Um, you watch people like her, and they can go on Patreon and leave off Patreon with $2,000 just for one conversation. We didn't have that
No.
opportunity back then.
No.
We were just sitting there talking and got to
Yeah.
get to work the next day. Now they're in
Yes.
front of the thing in the camera phone or whatever, and they walking away with $2,000. Where was Patreon back in 2012?
Yeah. Where was it back in 2008?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes. I
I
completely
forget about those
concur.
videos of my
Yeah.
old laptop.
Yeah. I listen, I completely concur. You know, I knew that it was divine timing that I asked you to do this interview because you have dropped nuggets, nuggets, nuggets of wisdom, nuggets of experience, nuggets of learning, nuggets of magic for each and every one of us to hear. And I just, you will never go broke. A, living in your purpose, and B, giving back to your community. And I don't mean, oh, what have you done to support the no, 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 no. When I say the community, I mean people that get you. I mean fashion. I mean things that are well within your purpose, operating in your purpose and your destiny. You'll never go broke. It may get tight, like it did for me. One business will take and have to be disillusioned like it did for me. And then what did I do? I waited 3 months, started a new one. Like it just, the evolution and the process it'll never get old, and you will never lack. You'll never lack. You'll never lack. And I had to learn that myself because I have a terrible story, but for the last 14 years of my life, someone in Hollywood who you and I both know has been doing evil, mean, malicious things to me behind the scenes to stop me from coming to public light. They have
Who is he? Let's go get him, girl. What's his address? I'm big.
no
I can swing a
hacked
1 and
fan.
2. What's
They
up?
have
No, I'm
hacked
joking.
phone. They have hacked. You're a mess. They have hacked phones. They have leaked my
Wow.
albums.
They doing all that?
Yes, and they still are trying to stop me. Even with these interviews, I had to put new links on social media because then the links just stopped working. Oh, this link doesn't work, or this, my tech team's looking at me like, Queen, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm like, all right, well, please do, because this is what I'm paying you for. And they're like, we're going to get it done. But all of that, and it's been 14 years and they haven't stopped.
You want to know why?
Of
Because
course.
something that you said in one of your videos, they already know that you're great. They
Yes.
already know it.
Yes.
That's why they can't take you. That's
Yes.
me doing you.
But get this, it sends the message to me. I don't get the, oh, they hate me, oh, they're trying to stop me message. I get the, bitch, you're everything, bitch, keep going, bitch, you got them mad, they're gonna jump out the window when this is over. I get that, like, because every single step that they have taken, I have learned, here we go, Libra, I have learned to be 3 steps ahead of them. I put out every fire that they send my way.
I get the same thing. They
Yeah.
go on the Instagram and be leaving the
Yes.
stories and talking about you and all kind of stuff. And they
Yes.
trying to get other people to side about their opinion and their experience with you. But the person who's experiencing, he's like, I've never experienced that with him. He just seems so authentic,
Yeah.
real,
Yeah.
100.
Get this. I had a situation in 2018 happen where I went to Atlanta to record my first studio album. And what happened was, at that time, while I'm in Atlanta recording with an upper respiratory infection, mind you, and you can't tell on the album because I'm a professional. But anyway, I'm up there singing my little heart out, and Nene Leakes tried to steal my Queen of Shade trademark and tried to go on her show. She tried to take her comedy tour on the
And this is not
road.
allegedly, huh?
No, this ain't allegedly. Listen, let me tell you something. Greg Leakes, may he rest his soul,
I love Greg.
listen, he signed for the papers from my lawyer. This happened. And not only did it happen, we've got the receipts, and we've also got the receipt that she changed her tour from the Queen of Shade to Shit Talkers. Okay. This ain't allegedly. It happened. But right after that, she's friends with this person. This person leaked my album all over the internet because they knew that the Nene Leakes scandal would bring so much attention to me, and that if people saw what I had to offer, it would bring me into public light. I'm still here, sweetheart. And what did I do? That album had 24 songs on it. I said, okay, you're gonna leak that? Let me show you what Libras do. I released a deluxe album with 26 more. So the album had 50 songs on it. I said, here you go. Now do that. All of a sudden the leak stopped because now the leak itself was the promotion for my album with 50.
Okay, you can't spray me with my own paint.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay. But I am just so thankful that, because you disappeared for a long time because you were handling your business. But I'm so glad that I got to sit down and talk to you and find out that you are well. You're well.
thank you,
You're well.
thank you.
You're well.
So I am going to make myself a bit more visible.
Mhm.
I really am.
Please do, because you need to. You gotta
How
larger than life.
I am, and I'm learning social media all over again.
Yeah,
For a while I wasn't even on Instagram.
right.
The last time I was on Instagram, I remember I think it was like 2018. I'm on it now. I
Mhm,
was a ghost at first, but now it's an actual page. But
mhm,
in 2018, I decided to leave social media for a year, and
mhm,
it was for mental health reasons.
mhm,
Mental health reasons because of why some people ask me, why don't you follow me back? Why don't you follow me? You only follow 5 people.
mhm.
And I think what registers first to people is that they think I'm trying to be fierce or like, oh, I only got to follow 5 people. But what they also don't think of is my mental health.
Yeah,
Of when I was following so many people, I wasn't able to handle other people's journey or story.
yeah,
They didn't see how I would beat myself up,
yeah,
how I would tear myself down because I was comparing my stuff to other people's stuff. And that's the easiest way
yeah,
to lose everything that you have.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying to
mhm,
you?
yeah,
So it's not about being fierce, it's about being healthy.
yeah,
And I decided that my mental health was more than what I'm doing online or what I'm trying to portray online.
yeah,
So I left for a year. I remember like yesterday, it was a year I went to Hawaii and I just was uh, engulfed.
yeah,
They said, welcome home when I came to Hawaii. I was like, yes, I didn't live there, but it was a vacation. It's what I needed. But I didn't go back to social media. And I purposely did that. I wanted to take a year from social media. It was a year from Facebook. It was a year just from every platform that I was on. Also, I think I left YouTube before though. I left YouTube first
yeah,
with no explanation, but then I was still on Instagram, keeping it cute.
yeah,
And then I decided to leave all of it, But then when I tried to come back, this is happening a lot lately, but
mhm,
my account was hacked. And
uh-huh,
because I had 38,000 followers, they were able to sell that account to some account overseas that did like luxury cars. So they
yeah.
pretty much just garnered all of my followers. And people were like, well, where did EmoreJ go? Where'd you go? And I'm like, well, shoot, I did go on a break, but when I came back, it was a car place. They didn't put me out. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
so I decided to never even come back. I was like, okay, well, I didn't fight for it because I was okay with it. Like I was in the present. I was being present in life. I was appreciating things around me. So I just never came back to it.
Yeah,
So about maybe last year or so, I decided to open up like a ghost page
yeah,
and click clack with a few people every now and then and stuff. I was more so about stories.
yeah,
And but now I am coming back to building a social media platform because I do have other businesses that
yeah.
I want to usher in throughout 2022. So
Mm.
again, I'm appreciative of this platform that, you put me up there, you will promote me to all your people. You got a whole congregation of people. So I was like, okay, thank you. Yes, I'm grabbing them. I'm grabbing them. Come on, keep sending them. So yeah, I mean, this is the steps that I'm taking towards solidifying who I am
Yeah.
again, and now bringing in these new projects that I'm excited to talk about.
It's time for the world to see you, darling.
I know.
It's time for the world to see you. And they're going to love what they see. Every single aspect of it. They're going to love what you give, who you are, how you behave. It's
Thank you.
time. It's time. It is time. I hear
Mhm.
Rafiki in my head. It is time. from
Right.
Lion King. It's time, like, because I think, well, when I started social media, I didn't realize it was a job. I didn't realize it was a business. And then I have had to grow up fast, but now I understand it's a business. Like, I understand that. And that took some time. That took some time. But it's time for you to come on back.
Yes.
We want that personality. We need that personality. We need that person.
So my comeback, I will say this.
Hmm.
My comeback looks different,
Okay.
and that's something that I'm learning to accept. It doesn't look like how it was when I started. Remember we talked about that?
Yes.
It doesn't look like that. It's different now because I'm okay with the things I am producing
Yeah.
behind the scenes. I am okay with the productions that I'm working on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I'm okay with me being involved in the community. Again, like I said, I'm in Pasadena, working out of Hillside with
Yeah.
the youth.
Yeah.
Um, I'm okay with these things, but it's going to look different.
Yeah.
It's not so much about me. And yes, me, I do carry a lot of weight because of my personality and because of things, but I'm ushering in these new projects, and I really want the focus to be about community. I really want the focus to be about just reviving the whole scene of fashion and entertainment, especially starting in Los Angeles and then moving somewhere else to present it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's going to look different, but it's going to be received well. It really is.
I'm curious, where might you go next?
I don't ever like to tell people. I do.
Ah,
Because when I do
ah,
tell people, they always give me these dirty looks, and I'm like, "But God dang, don't do that to them. Don't do that to them." But I do want to move, and when I do move, I want to move to Atlanta.
of course. Get it. Emore'J, of course. Of
And there are
course.
so many reasons why, but Atlanta has such a bad name and everybody has so much to say about it, but that's fine because LA is not what people think it is either. I'm
Right.
so tired of coming out of an apartment that I have to pay almost close to $3,000 for rent
Yeah.
every single month, and there's somebody taking a dump in front of my place. I'm so
Yeah.
tired of seeing homeless people and meth heads up and down the street breaking into my car, and not just any car, but a car that I paid for that looks custom color. They're
Yeah.
tearing it up.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of all the small throughout the city. Here I am ranting. I'm ranting. See, it's a lot of things about LA. I am grateful for the journey and I'm grateful for all the things that I have collected and got while I was here. But it's time for me to roll out. Am I going next week or next month? No, I am not. But again, I have to strategize the same way how I left DC and came to LA is the same strategy that I planned that I'm putting together towards my move to Atlanta. And what I'm bringing to Atlanta, I'm excited to bring to Atlanta because I know they're ready for it.
Yeah.
They're always excited to go out. They love to show off, and so do I. So I'm happy. And then I love being around Black people who love Black people.
Yeah.
I do. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I know that we have our issues within our Black community, but it's okay because we are growing. We are manifesting. Our consciousness is ever so growing. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful and I'm allowing the Most High to take me wherever He needs for me to be. I'm at your mercy. Do what you need to do, but I know I'll get there.
You're
Why
gonna do
will I get
well.
there? Because I continue to manifest and speak these things into existence. And manifestation has gotten so eerie for me that I could speak a daggone elephant right now. I just did. See, look, I could go pull it down right now. No, it's an elephant thing up there. Like I wish I don't want to move it, but it is. It's up there.
He
Like,
said it's
okay,
right there. You can't see it, but I know it's there.
it's there. No, it really is right there.
Ah,
But my manifestation is so eerie. I'm getting everything that I want.
yeah.
So I can't wait to take what I come up with in my mind.
Yeah.
And once I manifest it here, because I'm going to start it here. I'm
Yeah.
starting here, but I'm building the foundation for it here so that I'm able to do what I need to do there and go back and forth, swinging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Swinging, just
Yeah.
going back and forth. And
You're
that's
going
what
to be
I'll do.
very successful. You're going to be very successful.
Baby, there's
Yes.
some things that I've tapped into that no one knows about. I'm loving cryptocurrency. I'm loving NFTs. I love what they're doing for the artist. Baby, those are things, numbers. I'm loving numbers games now. I've invested heavily into crypto. 40% of my portfolio is in cryptocurrency.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I'm excited. The Staples Center just went from being the Staples Center to crypto.com. Are we not paying attention? Baby, I'm making sure that within the next 5 years, my foundation is going to be strong,
Yeah.
lovely. My money should make money for me. There are certain things that I don't even want to do
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to do these things. My money's going to make money for me. My life should be luxurious. It should be amazing. We always think that life has to be so hard. It doesn't have to be hard. Who says that? Those old textbooks, we'll get rid of those things because life does not have to be hard. Life is whatever you want it to be. So if I want a luxurious life of being waited on hand and foot and being able to produce a show when I want to produce a show and bring my fashion friends and my followers along with me to enjoy my journey, that's my life. And that's how I'm getting paid off of it. And it's okay.
You are
It's
Libra.
good.
You are Libra. You are Libra. Ambiance, darling. Ambiance, darling. Ambiance. And,
Luxurious.
and you're gonna get it. That's the funny thing. The funny thing is you sit here, but what they don't understand about the Libran activity is that you're gonna do everything you need to do to get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so amazing. You're gonna do well in Atlanta too. Yeah, you're gonna do well in Atlanta.
I'm excited.
They need somebody
I'm
like
excited. I'm excited. I'm going. I'm
yeah,
excited.
they need somebody like you there because they do fashion and things like that, but your brain.
Yeah.
I've seen like even the picture that you sent me for the thumbnail. I'm just like, ain't nobody doing this.
What picture?
You got glasses on. Let me see.
Oh.
Let me see. You got glasses on. Where is this?
Is it the trench coat from H. Lorenzo?
I think it. Hold on. This one.
Baby, that picture, that to me says back. It just says back. It's in your face. It's just right there in your face.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Give me 3 words that inspire you.
3 words that inspire me.
If you one of your words ain't fashion, I'm gonna kill you.
Wow, it's crazy because it wasn't.
Right, it's not. Go ahead.
3 words that inspire me. Community.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Luxury. 2. The world. Parentheses travel. 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those things inspire me. They really do.
Yeah.
Fashion, it's a beautiful thing. These clothes are a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But I fashion my life a different way. Again, I am an artist.
Yeah.
I love fashion because it's colorful, it's bright, but I love seeing what we can build and what we create. People don't know that artists can also create your communities that you live in. Because it takes somebody to have that vision.
Yeah.
Hence the trip I went to Dubai and I just saw things that were like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The structures of this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just
what? I'm excited.
fascinated.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you because now that you are coming out of hiding, we get to watch.
Yeah.
And of course, we all want to watch. We all want to watch. It's amazing.
Voyeurism. People love it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so amazing. So, oh my God. Final question.
Make it good, girl.
If there was one European country that you could go to and work in as far as fashion and style and design, what European country would that be?
I'm torn.
Okay.
Because I know we've been mentioning it a lot on here. I know we've been talking about it a lot. But I think I would go to the same place where you went.
Yep.
And I would do it there.
Yep. EmoreJ.
And we know what place that is because we've been saying it about 6 times already.
EmoreJ, while you're doing what you're doing in Atlanta and Los Angeles, please look into doing it there too, because it'll be easy for you. They love larger than life personalities. and fashion. Oh, your style. You'll go there and get every bit of notoriety with wealth at the same time.
You want to know something? In 2019, I was working at a fashion week they had there in New York,
Mhm.
and I was supposed to go overseas to work with a designer to
Mhm.
assist her and to help her with her collection. She's an amazing designer too, from Nigeria.
Mhm.
Um, and I had to choose
Wow.
between going over to Paris and working with her
Yeah.
or staying in LA and working with my students. It was going to be the comeback class, the first class, and all of those things. And I decided to stay for my class. I could have easily did the Paris situation,
Yeah.
but this is my project. This
Yeah.
is my brand. And I know that one day I will get there, but I want to be able to stay here because this program is going to go for 3 months.
Yeah.
And I want to put all that I can into this program. I'll be there when I'm supposed to be there.
Yep. I'll see you there, sweetie. It's the same thing that all my French famous friends say to me. See you in Paris. I will see you in Paris.
That's right.
Because they will adore you. They will
Well,
adore.
I'll tell you this, if that's where you want to be, that's where you shall be, you know? And you mentioned that you want to go back, and I can see why. You
Mhm.
know, I've never been there, so I can't tell you how they received you or treat you, but
It's
you have
amazing.
a deep love for it.
Mhm.
You want more than just Philly,
Yep.
and I get it.
I can't even perform here. Not the way I want to, like the way I want to. No, I can't perform here. Not like the way I listen.
And why is that?
Because I'm very avant-garde. I remember I had a friend of mine. She was a director. I haven't spoken to her in a very long time, but she had just come off of a movie directing. She was directing Samuel L. Jackson. And she said to me, she said, get out of here. And she said, if you don't, they'll kill you. She said,
Mm,
because, yeah, she said, because Philadelphia is a small man's, it's a big city with a small towns mentality. And you're
mm,
far too bright to be here doing what you do. Now, I love Philadelphia because I love the architecture. Of course I would, because it was designed by a French designer, a French architect. So I see a lot of the same traces of French culture in my city. But and get this, even as far as I go away, I still feel a pull to this city. I still feel a pull. There are a lot of very gifted artists here that need someone to open the door.
we got some of the best, like I'm from Philly. There are some of the best artists that have come from Philly. Let's be very clear.
Yeah.
Me, Jill Scott,
Will
all day.
Will Smith, Patti
You know,
LaBelle.
Will,
Yeah,
hello.
Will Smith in West Philadelphia, born and raised. That's us.
Right.
Yeah. So, but what I love is that all the struggles that I have had they were with intention and for a point. Because all my friends, I'm friends with so many famous people in Paris, and they say, "Come here, and we will pay you not to leave."
Wow.
Mhm. They tell me all the time, it's going to be so easy for you. But the reason why it's going to be so easy for me is because I have built everything. I've got 4 albums, about to do a 5th. Like there's the visuals are waiting, like there's so much that I have orchestrated and created and curated. I'm just going to pick the whole thing up. Like you said, the foundation, I built the foundation. They move houses. They move houses. I'm just going to pick the foundation up and across the water. And
That's right.
that's where I belong. It's where I belong. It is where I belong, and I'm going. And, I want to look up and I want to see you there too. And not just there, Milan, London. I want to see you those places because when you first started talking, when you said, I don't see what I wanted to see in fashion, I was saying to myself, I don't see enough of what I want to see in fashion. And when someone comes along like you, who has first of all, the talent, the artistry, the know-how, the skill to perform, to create at a level like that, Oh, honey, you need to be everywhere. 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 And, you know, for you to be everywhere, that will take sponsors. Like you said in the beginning, we love you, you know, sponsors, we love them, but it's going to take sponsors. But to get your brand out there, I don't see why that wouldn't happen. Not for you. The clothing is sick. The clothing is sick. It's sick. The look, sick. I always loved how you did the big jewelry pieces.
Oh, I love big jewelry. And I'm
Right.
actually wearing one of my fabulous designers right
Yes.
now. This is Alchemy Legion. He
Beautiful.
custom welded these pieces for me.
Wow. Yeah, see, you're into the ambiance. You like the ambiance. Look at those rings. You like the ambiance.
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Shout out to Alchemy Legion, based out of Washington, D.C.
yeah,
She makes the most amazing pieces. I usually have on her necklaces and stuff, but I don't right now. But I
yeah,
just wore her rings.
yeah. If there was something you could say to all of us to prepare us for what's about to happen, what you're about to do in your life, what would that be?
Say that one more time.
If you could say something to all of us watching that could prepare us for what you're about to do, what you're about to create, what would it be?
Be open. Be open. When something different comes across your way, or when you hear something different, be open.
Yeah.
Be open to the possibilities of change, and a good change. So be open.
Child, you're gonna be some rich old, I could see it. You're gonna be some happy, rich designer living in Europe somewhere.
But thank God I don't have to be old to wait to get there.
No, you ain't gotta be old, babe. You ain't got to be old. You ain't got to be old at all.
Hmm.
Thank you for taking this opportunity to talk with me.
No, absolutely. I thank you. And I want to be able to bless a few people along my journey, if I may.
Please do.
I want to be able to, I want to give a shout out. Do they still do that? Shout outs? But
Yes,
to
we
create
do.
now.
Say it again because I was speaking. Say it again to who it was.
To Create Now. Create Now is a nonprofit organization in Los Angeles that I work closely with, that we're having the program out of Pasadena. Shout out to LaShonda and Magers, who are designers and seamstress in Los Angeles, who are working hands-on with me with this project. Shout out to Miss Erica Kane. Shout out to, yeah, okay. Shout out to Claxton of Shot by Clax. He's a photographer that you see that shoots all this stuff that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. So shout out to him also, DJ Claxton. Shout out to so many other amazing people throughout my Los Angeles area, close friends, those things, my family. And shout out to the Queen of Shade, the iconic Queen of Shade. It's about the consistency. As long as you are consistent, you will get everything that you want. It may not look how you want it to look right now, and it may not be what you want it to be right now, but it, just like yourself, it will evolve.
Yeah.
So consistency.
Yes. Yeah.
As much as we critique ourselves and sometimes beat ourselves up, I have to remind myself that there is somebody less qualified sitting in seats that I know I can sit in.
Yep.
So let me be consistent. If I'm the real T, how I say I'm the real T, if I can bring it how I say how I can bring it, then be
Bring it.
consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I'm just looking at you with awe. Because
Really?
yeah, because I hear the growth. I hear, I see, I feel the growth. And I know that this next lap around the sun, whoo, it's gonna be something for you. It's gonna be something for you. It's gonna be something for you. And
And
you know, we as Libras, we can say what we want, but we hold that one thing that we really want close to our heart and don't say. And that it's time for that one thing you really want, that one thing you hold close to the vest. that one thing that you don't tell anybody when you're alone and you're thinking to yourself and you're doing what you're doing and you're preparing for things like this and for what you're doing, that one thing that you just say to the divine, oh, that would be so amazing. That it's time for those things. Yeah, it's time for those things to manifest.
And they will.
Yes, they will. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of Mr. Emore'J Couture. Say goodbye, but don't go anywhere.